Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Shake Sales. Today I got Dre Baldwin. We're going to talk about mindset. Sales reps are really struggling to sell. It's probably harder than ever to sell. And I think that's why it's important to have a mindset. So Drake is the CEO, founder of Work on Your Game. He takes and I'm sure you can do a better job than this, but what's really cool is he takes all the things that the way you train athletes and professionals and applies them to regular folks in the business world. And I think that's a very great way to kind of hone your mindset. So Dre, welcome, man.
Thank you for having me on, Sujan. Am I pronouncing your name correctly? Make sure I'm pronouncing your name right.
Yep.
All right. Thank you for having me on. I am really excited to be here. Looking forward to this conversation.
Awesome. So let's jump into it. So mindset, what does that mean? How do you have a good mindset into those age where you're getting rejected all the time?
And that's a great question, especially in the sales world, which is similar to the sports world. If you play a sport like baseball, the Hall of Famers only get on base once out of every 3 times. So you play basketball, a great player makes about half their shots, usually a few less than that. And in the sales world, who knows, depending on what you're selling, you might only sell 1 out of 10, but you might be the best salesperson in there. So you have to have the discipline and the mental toughness, also the confidence and the knowledge to understand that sometimes things are not going to go exactly the way that you want them to go. But the most important part is the expectation, setting the proper expectations, having proper clarity on what you're doing, and then following your process. Hopefully you have one, so that even when things don't go the way you wanted to on the last call, you already know that you're one step closer to making things go the right way on the next call. So the way that we prepare ourselves is the most important aspect of that for any professional.
Love it. Love it. So let's say, this is, I think that's a great headspace to be in, but let's say the folks are in this rut of, they're at an all-time low from just getting hammered over the last years, and maybe they're unemployed or they're trying to look at the next thing. How do you go from this feeling bad, sorry, whatever, to get your head in the game, right?
Yeah, great question. Well, it comes back to that word you said, mindset. And we got to break this down and go deeper into it. And it is mindset. It is how your mind is set. And the way your mind is set is all based on your subconscious programming. And this is where many people get this wrong, Sujan, is because the subconscious programming is about what is underlying in the way that your mind works, not what you are consciously taking in. So the people who are listening to this right now are consciously listening to the words that we're saying, but that level of thinking is not what changes your outcomes. That's what you can take things in through there, and you can decide what to filter in, what to keep, and maybe what to keep working on. But the way that you really change your behavior is you're changing the subconscious programming, which is about what are you consistently giving your mind, either through repetition, through emotionalization, meaning you have a strong emotional connection to it, or through immersion, meaning you are so deep into it that you can't even see or hear anything else. So those are the 3 ways that you really change your mind subconsciously. So if you've been getting hammered over the last few years, the most important thing you need to do is figure out, first of all, what is the mentality that you want to have, and then using these 3 techniques, repetition, immersion, and emotionalization. That's how you change the programming, and that's how you can start changing the behavior, and then, of course, subsequently changing the outcomes.
Love it. Love it. And one of the things I want to just share here, based on what you said, is a lot of folks feel sorry for themselves, or if you got laid off, or, the sales world had a massive, really layoffs over the last couple of years. And unfortunately, it's not over. You can feel sorry for yourself, but you've got to take that action, right? You can't be looking at the other end oh, I wish I could do this. The first thing you said was repetition. You can't do repetition without the first action, right? And I feel a lot of folks are just sitting there I'm just going to apply for a job. Click, 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 click.
Right.
And it should be, how do you stand up? Or maybe it's how to start, not stand up. How do you stand out? Or how do you, if you're missing skills, if you've been in sales for 7, 8, 10 years, what are you missing? What else can you do to level up and stand out and repeat that behavior until, frankly, you get to that next step in your mindset?
Well, it's a simple question, and the answers are pretty simple. Now, they may not be easy to put into action, but they are pretty simple. It's go find someone who's already playing the game at a higher level than you. Again, this applies in anything. If you're playing a sport, it applies in business, it applies in careers. Find someone who's playing the game at a higher level than you. Find out what they know or what they are engaging with that you don't know and or are not engaging with, and then copy their behaviors. Copy their behaviors in those areas so that you can step your game up. And then again, continue to measure your results against the goals that you've set. Now that requires that you actually have some goals so that you know if you're making progress or if you're not making progress. So again, it's a very simple process that anyone can follow and everyone should follow. Challenge is not easy because a lot of times that difference in behaviors between you and the person who's performing at a higher level than you may be very inconvenient and uncomfortable to change your behaviors to match what that other person is doing. But that is the golden key to making change that you know is going to work.
Love it. Love it. And I think I want to hammer down on the simple, right? So like here's a very tactical way. If you're in sales, you want to find the leaders, go on LinkedIn or go on Google and type in top sales influencers, right? Top sales reps. Go look at what they're doing. There's a list of 50. They publish it every year. Go look at their actions. Okay. Now you might be like, I think the first step is a lot of people are like, oh my God, I'm intimidated. They're doing a whole lot. Like you said, mimic their behavior, copy their behavior. Just do one, two things, be consistent. And a lot of the folks that you might see out there today, professional athletes, a perfect example. It's not who they are and what the score is or how they perform today. It's like they compounded that by consistently doing and showing up, putting in the effort. You're going to get, if you're in this space in sales, you're going to get that by consistently showing up. So, it takes times and people, my 2 cents is like most people in sales are like, I want they're used to like this instant gratitude of gratification of selling today or tomorrow in a month. And like, I want the win now. I'm like, well, building a personal brand or being the top takes years, decades. Expand your horizon and time frame.
Yeah, that's right, man. Just having a long-term view, which is a discipline in and of itself, especially when someone's in a situation where they're looking to get a result now or they feel like they need to get a result now. It's hard to get them to focus on the long-term thing. And what I would say to someone who's in that position is, okay, let's take care of what we need to take care of now. There's a fire that needs to be put out. Let's put it out. But also, if you're going to think, since we want to think long term, we need to make sure that every single day we're doing something that is setting us up for tomorrow's success and next year's success, not just doing things to take care of today's success. Because the problem is every day you're going to have to get up and be under this, have to put out these fires. You don't want to have to do that every single day. You want to be doing things today so 5 years from now, since the work that you've already done leading up to this point, maybe you don't have to do so much work at that point because you've already prepared yourself ahead of time. And one of the hallmarks of a true professional is they prepare ahead of time for a situation.
Love it. Love it. Well, Dre, thanks so much for your time. I want to encourage everyone to follow Dre on LinkedIn. He's got really great, really great LinkedIn posts and a daily clips. I want to end with a quote that from you. A kick in the ass can be just as motivational as a pat on the back. Yeah, look up the definition, right? Like what we just talked about is a kick in the ass, right? Go get your pat on the back, earn it.
That's right, 100%. Thank you for sharing your platform. Thanks for the opportunity.